minutes of a very long video because I have a very long list. You guys are awesome, and I just want you all to know that I care and that I'm here and that I support you for supporting me. Because, I mean, we may not be sub for sub. Please, if you don't like what you watch on my channel, don't sub me. It's okay. I need somebody, though, that's going to watch the videos. It's not for everybody. I am not for everybody. But let me tell you this. Even if I'm not for you, I love you anyway. It's the South, baby. We love everybody. Come on over. I'll grab you some sweet tea. Dr. Pepper if you prefer. That's mine. But, okay, next one. Creating change. I put this in my post yesterday, and I'm going to read it again. Music and foil hats, man. Foil hats. I need me a foil hat. Have you seen what's going on? Oh my gosh. You know what? I came from a long background of music, okay? I hate telling anybody anything about me. Years of lessons. I have at least 12 years of private voice lessons, and I found out in 2020 when my mother passed away that she had every receipt from every voice lesson she ever paid for, okay? Yeah. So when I find music, when I find people who like music, I mean, it's like on another level as far as family, you know, especially when it's music I like. You got a great voice, man. A great voice. And I really like the full hats. I like how you were whispering in that video. And I especially loved it about how you were worried your wife's going to catch you with the full hat on. That's why I need one. That's why I need one. That's crazy. Okay, next one. Charita Jones. Beauty, style, and yummy food, baby girl. Wow. Man. I'm trying to be funny over here. That's just one. You got beauty, style, and some yummy food. We need to talk. I need a sister. I love you, girl. Keep going. You are doing phenomenal. Speaking of phenomenal, no, I'm not going to forget my brother. There you are again, being phenomenal. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And I hope you all get what you want for Christmas. You deserve it. You worked hard for it, honey. Now, let's see. MK Paranormal Files. The coolest paranormal activities in Gamer Dude I've seen in a while. Seriously. Yes, it was the Paranormal Files that got me interested, but let me tell ya, I used to be pretty good at League of Legends a couple of years ago. And I love me some Final Fantasy. Oh, love me some Final Fantasy. You ever heard of, let me get back here in the day. You're probably too young for this. Get a little Sega on you. You ever heard of Legend of Dragoons? How about I go back before your time? Phantasy Star, spelt with the PH. Yes, yes, I'm an old gamer girl. Don't feel bad about it. Not at all. You know, I went to college to be a computer programmer. Mostly because I wanted to make games, and then life happened, and that didn't get to happen, and I... Anyway, gamer girl. Yeah, GameStop's my home away from home. Let me just put it out there. Yes, PS5, PS4, PS3. Guess what? I have a PS1 too. You know what I used to have? Oh my god, that I wish I still had. A TV with a Nintendo in it. Best thing ever. Seriously, man. Anyway, okay, better get on from that. Because the paranormal, if that gets me, y'all, go watch my video. You can see my mom talking to me in the morning. Hand to God, y'all. I'm not gonna lie about something like that. Fresh batteries. Fresh batteries. Okay? Fresh batteries. Because my granddaughter was coming back over, okay? See, I can't talk when I don't have a script. Anyway, go look at my chair. Okay, go look at the kids' chair in my list, alright? It's in the probably, I don't think it's in any group. I don't know where it's at, but it's there.
Okay? That's me and my mama talking. No joke. Now, next one.
The Maverick and Haley place. The puppies that I just can't live without. Oh my gosh, they're wiener dogs. Oh my god. I used to have one. His name's Buster. And, well, he's buried out at the farm. He was an old man when I got him. He was a rescue dog, and he was the best. And my very, very best friend.
God, I wish she knew that.
I wish Jonna was around. I really do. And I keep saying her name, hoping that maybe she'll show up. She might. I miss her. Anyway. Yeah. He was the coolest dog ever, and he had a sweater that said "bad to the bone," and he loved that sweater, and he just got old. His back was bad. Twice he was kind of paralyzed for a little while. He couldn't walk anywhere. I had to take him out. I had a little strap that I had for his belly and all kinds of stuff. He was an old dog.
He lived a good life, though. Okay, before I cry, I got another one. Her name is, I'm just going to pull it out as the Vixen. It's XIII, but let me tell you something.
I've never seen such a young lady be so intelligent, and she's got a lot to share that is, I mean, for every age and for every background. And she just seems like she's got her head on her shoulders, and being that young, you guys, you know this, we don't see that often. So I would really like for y'all to go out and help support her, because this girl's got this. I'm just amazed. I really am. I mean, I have some pretty good kids too, okay? I got 3 great kids that got their heads on their shoulders. So, you know, it's like, I hope her mom and dad know that they did a good job. I really do. You're wonderful, little girl. Pardon me, young lady. Not little girl. I'm sorry. That was rude. Texas, y'all. But young lady, you're amazing. You've got your head on your shoulders, and you're going to have a beautiful future. And I'm so proud to know you at this age, so I can watch you bloom and grow. It's amazing. You go, girl. You go, girl. Yeah. Okay, one more I kept for last, because I ended up staying in this live chat the other day way past my bedtime. And y'all, you know I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning usually. I got to sleep in the next day. Thank you. His name is Big Jack 7707. Excuse my phone. That's Big Jack 7707. And I was so pleasantly surprised. I always go to my mentions. Y'all should go to your mentions, because you probably missed my shout out. But in your mentions, it says when somebody mentions you, somebody does a shout out for you, right? Okay. I go to there because I go every day to check for Nemo, brother, to mention me, so I can go and make sure that, I say thank you. Well, I had a new one. Somebody I hadn't met, not personally. I mean, on here, obviously. And I didn't know that had, seen my videos or anything. It was wow. It was a nice surprise. Sorry. Yeah, that was creepy. My computer just went silly. I didn't do what I was supposed to do and move the mouse. Anyway, lost my light. I'm sure I could edit that out if I wanted to. I don't care. Jack, Big Jack, 7707. Shout out and your kindness. I'm sorry if I monopolized the live conversation. I stopped myself quite a few times because I didn't want to impede on anybody else's questions or anything like that. But it was a great conversation, and I really enjoyed that, and I got a lot of insight from that too. you know, not a lot of people you can go and just type your whole life out to in 2 seconds and have them give you an answer that you can walk away with happily. And I did on quite a few things. And seriously, that was the best live chat I've been in a while. I have to admit, I miss being in Tashmir's, but I've been so busy and her hours and my hours kind of conflict a little bit. I try to grab it when I can. I do go and watch them though. My sister, she's like probably the first wonderful person I met on here that was, you know, somebody I've kept around. And her and Nemo and Draven and Ellen Smile, Down the Road, Rising Phoenix, Joe Remington now. Again, another shout out because I'm putting y'all all in here. You know, it's nice to have such a nice little community. I feel like, I got family. I do. I really do. We help each other, in the best way possible because I think YouTube should be like a mental health platform because I could be doing a lot worse today than I am, but watching some of y'all's stories and listening to your lives and knowing that I'm not the only one out here having this, that helps. And to everybody that I just named and more that I haven't named, all of you, every one of you, thank you. I have 182 this morning. 182. I've only been here since the end of October. You guys are phenomenal. Like Mr. Phenomenal himself. Nemo, look what you did, man. You brought us all together and gave us wings. Thank you, all of you. I'm going to go. This is my last video I'm going to post or take for today. I don't post it all the time when I say, but I love you. Merry Christmas if I don't see you again. I'm so sorry that if I don't get the chance to watch your videos, that I promise during, holidays, I will definitely come back and watch them twice. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Take care. Hello, lovely. How are ya? Good to see ya. This video is going to be just a tad bit different. You know me. I like my videos. I do post a lot. I think I might be losing people because I post too much. Slowing down a little. That's what we're doing. And we are slowing down to appreciate today. Guys, I have finally made 150 subscribers, and believe me, this has been a job that I love because I've had so many people come back and they needed that laugh that day, that one thing that just hit home with them. Okay, guys, that's what I want this for. That's what my jokes are about, plain and simple. I just want to make you smile. This world needs a lot more smiles. We can't deny that. Okay, now I have some people that help me keep those smiles. I have one that has smile in her name, and she makes me smile on the daily. If you guys happen to get likes and no comments, I guarantee you I'm part of one of those. When our best buddy Nemo goes up there and he puts your name up there and all that stuff, guys, I do go in there. I like everything. I do watch videos from beginning to end. I don't always put something on there, but I do like and I do watch to the end. Those are probably the more important parts. I'll be honest with you, okay? I have a granddaughter. I do Instacart. I have an Etsy store. I have an eBay store, which, by the way, if you'd like to buy anything, all that information is in this video. Donations. I do have a buy me a coffee link in the bio. It's Christmas. We all could use a little help. It would help if my money wasn't tied up right now. But to ensure my husband and I stay retired, you know, some of us, we have money, it's just tied up, and we can't untie that because our future depends on it. So I'm just trying to make this Christmas the best I can for my granddaughter. If anybody wants to send her a coffee, you know, decaf, obviously. Um, I run into some problems like we always do. Everybody does at Christmas time. You know, my Jeep needs some major work right now, and I'm an Instacart driver. That's my job. It's limping right now, so I'm working on that too. Slowly, because I can't work in it at the moment. So, yeah. Anyway, back to my original subject, because I'm already 3 minutes into this video and I haven't even said how much I absolutely love these people, okay? There are some new that I've just met in this past week, but there are some that I met on day one, and let me tell you, this community, this family has given me this new drive because, like I said, I like giving y'all the smiles. I really do. I mean, who wouldn't, right? That's why you see me in my get up today. No, it's because I'm freezing my butt off, y'all. It's cold in here. And in about, I don't know, 2 hours, I'll be sweating it off. So it's a good balance here. Okay, so since the beginning, and I'm going to try and go in some kind of an order because I need you to know you guys are amazing, okay? And I need you to know those people that first got me going here, okay? You guys, you've been my rock. We may not talk a lot. We may not be like this kind of buddies, you know, sharing some sweet tea together. But I love you guys. You're amazing. And I want to thank you for helping me get my foot in the door and then helping me take that first step, because here I am. Now, if I could just get over my fear of doing live. Yeah, I can barely do a video and somebody wants me to go live. Anyway. Start here, Tashmir. My sister. I love you, honey. I miss you. I really do. Draven, my man. You're going quick. Dude. Wow. Already over 100 catching me up, man. That's okay. Come on. Let's go together. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you. You commented on one of my videos one time, and I was like, man, this guy's something. I gotta have him. And here you are in my community. Love you, man. Love you. Now, Nemo. Nemo, Mr. Phenomenal. And there's no other word for him. Nemo Phenomenal. Because he is, y'all. Come on, y'all all know this. If you don't know this, go find out. He's good to you. He's very good to you. In fact, he's too good. Okay? Let me tell you something about Nemo. Boy, he works hard. He works hard for his family. He works hard for his life. I mean, fingers to the bone hard. And that is no joke. Okay? That's one thing I will not joke about. Nemo goes hard. Man has dedication and loyalty coming out his ears, okay? And because of that, because I've been a noticeable participant in his family, he has, in return, gifted me time. Time. Come on, guys. That has got to be the best gift anybody could ever give you. Seriously, okay? The man works. He takes his breaks with us, okay? He goes home, might get a little bit of sleep, but he got to get right back up, or he's going to stay up for a while before he does go to sleep, just so he can be who he is right here, right now. There ain't another good kind of man like that out here, I can tell you that right now, that doesn't know, or pardon me, that does know that he's doing something special, but he has no idea how special it is. Yeah, because he's not just getting subs. He's getting friends. He's getting family. He's networking all of us that have this the same crazy, okay? Let's put it that way. We all have the same crazy. It resonates within him, within this family, and he is phenomenal. I've ranted and raved about you now, Nemo. You better hear me. You, sir, are truly the phenomenal one. Yes, we helped you get there, but do you understand that that isn't for some of us? I'm not going to speak for everybody, okay? I'm not going to speak for anybody but me, but I can think that there's somebody out there that's thinking this way too. The fact that you got monetized, baby boy, this is not our fault. This is not our doing. This is you, man. This is you. This is the person that you first put out on that video, that live feed, that text post. It's you that brought all these people together. It's you that monetized yourself because you went hard, period. I haven't been in this for very long. I will be as honest as I can here. I had never done YouTube videos until a little over a month ago. My son plays games. He's usually on Twitch. I've been on there. But he plays games, and he's pretty much faceless at this point. But I know a little bit. And I know enough to say that even after all these years, here I have passed him up. And the reason I did that is because I tried following your example, Mr. Phenomenal. Your example. Going hard. Being there for each other. I go in and I can guarantee you, if he posts text, he shares the website on his breaks. I go to that website. I watch that video from beginning to end. And let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, I'm hitting a new sub. Because, yeah, that's exactly the kind of content I want to see. You can't find exactly the kind of content you want unless you're around exactly the kind of people you want, right? And Nemo, he made this circle around him. And he says, okay, grow. And look, here we are, all of us. So let's give this man his due, okay? Because I've talked about him for 5 minutes now. Love you, man. Please don't change, okay? If you're going to change, just do maybe one thing for all of us. Get some more rest, man. We love you. We want to see your face as often as possible. But we can't do that if you're wearing yourself out. I heard you woke up. Had to call out because you was hurt. I know that was a rough thing for you to do because I know your work ethic. So, listen. Take a break. We understand. And we love you anyway. And you know, if we were all there, we'd be over there trying to punch that sucker out of that muscle. Take a break, man. You deserve it. You're the best. I'll get down to my list again before I run out of my time because I'm trying to keep it slow and low. Now, the next one I have is that smile I was talking about earlier. Ellen Smile. Ellen Smile. The best smiles I've ever seen. You guys, I love you. I'm here with you always. If it doesn't look like I'm there seeing your videos, I swear to God, I am there. I am there. Because y'all give me hope. Okay? I know every outcome doesn't turn out the way we want it to. And when we know the outcome, what's about to happen anytime, years from now, minutes from now, we do what we can to get through it and to make it to that point, and then be prepared for that point, and then beyond, which, no, you can never be fully prepared for what you're going through. And I love you, girl. I'm standing right next to you every single day, holding your hand, telling you I love you, and it's going to be okay. And I'm here for you. I am, okay? You know, if there's ever a time, I believe I have my email address up there, or shoot me a message if you just want to talk, okay? If you want to write me an email and just get some stuff off your shoulders, honey, I am here. And for both of you, I love you, both of you. And I feel like God has given me the blessing here, because I get to walk this with you. And I do. On a daily basis. I swear it. I do. If you get a like and you see somebody's watched your video all the way through, let me tell you, if it's not Mr. Phenomenal, it's me. Now, I should give that more time, but listen, guys, I don't want to start crying, because I feel I am empathic, obviously, but I feel so very strongly about how beautiful the relationship and just, I don't know, the light that is around Ellen's smile. And I'm sending you all the love and light I can, sweetheart. I really am. Okay. I do have some cool new ones that, guys, I am mentioning because you guys have been so cool with me, okay? I've been struggling here lately, you know, YouTube jail apparently is a real thing, and just losing some people, gaining some people, like my sister says, just making room for better, and she's so right. I might go through this list a little bit quicker, but I do want to say, guys, if you need good people in your life, these are some good people you can put in there, okay? Now, Silver Moon 916, thank you for your comments. Thank you so much for your encouragement. I have Cool Gamer 223. I know you're a kiddo, and let me tell you, kiddo, I really, really appreciate that. Your comments and your courage to come and comment on an adult site. Anyway, it's not adult per se, but, you know, some kids think older jokes are stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. But I love you for supporting me. Thank you so very much. Your parents are awesome. I'd love to shake their hand. You're a good kid. Now, down the road, a new one, a good one, you guys. He's pretty cool. Pardon me, I'm gonna do this while I'm plugging my battery in. Stupid. Anyway, yes, down the road. He's a pretty cool guy. You know, there's something I want to say about that one real quick, too. Okay, because my mom, I just noticed it. It's kind of funny, okay? But my mom, when I was, I guess, about 6 years old, used to bartend at a little bar in the middle of town on Main Street. Literally Main Street, okay? And it was like one of those family places, you know, bar and grill kind of thing. Only they didn't have a whole lot of food or nothing. But you go out there and play with games and stuff like that. And there's shuffleboard, there's pool table, there's darts, you know, all that stuff. Pinball machines, stuff like that. But this little bitty hole in the wall bar and grill that my mother used to tend bar for, and my grandmother and grandfather used to spend half their weekends at, it was called Down the Road Club. So that's pretty cool. You stood out there for me real quick. So I think that was my first thought. But go watch the videos, guys. Man's got a lot to say. A lot of good things to say. And I think you should hear it. So, down the road, man, thanks for all your comments, for your support. And hey, y'all, go check him out. He's really cool. Now, I don't, Notion Nouse, I'm sorry, I'm Notion Nouse 9786. I don't want to butcher that. I just want to thank you for your support, for your comments. You've been awesome. I really appreciate it. Now, a couple more. These are fairly new. Well, one of them is Rising Phoenix. Love you. Love you. Thank you so much for all your comments and actually watching my videos and making comments that make sense, because there's not a lot of that out there. You know, I've had my share of good comments, and yeah, I've had a couple of bad comments. In fact, I just made a post about one the other day, and I just kill them with kindness. Y'all, I don't know how to tell you to do it. Kill them with kindness, okay? God, this video's up to 20 minutes. Anyway, Rising Phoenix, the comments are always perfect, okay? Thank you so much for them and for your support. I love watching your videos too. You got so many different things that make me think about things. It's just great. Thank you so much. Now, and this last but not least, only last because this is the latest that I've found. He is, y'all, just like my friend Draven. I'm gonna put this one out there. This guy is in it to win it, and you guys should go check him out. I believe it's Joe Remington. Of course, I leave all the links and stuff in here. I promise. I've got it all. I'm looking at the list of everything that I typed out that I want to put at the end of my description so that you guys will see, and so they will get their shout out that's due them, because y'all, these guys, they're phenomenal too, okay? And I think they'd be a good addition to the whole family. And, you know, I just want to say thank you, if nothing else. If y'all like them, you don't like them, that's all on you. All I know is these are good people. These are my tribe too, you know? And I would love it if you can join our tribe, okay? So, now, 20 minutes, 57 seconds, and counting. I'm going to get off this thing because I'm going to make some more joke videos for y'all, okay? All right. Love you. Mwah. See you soon. For being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please? Now listen, y'all. I walked into the dollar store last week, right? Just minding my own business when I saw two ladies in there. Sunday best. They were sprinting down the cleaning aisle like it was the Kentucky Derby, though. Turns out there was only one bottle of Pine Sol left on the shelf. And honey, it was about to get biblical. One lady, bless her heart, tried to sneak ahead, but her heel snapped faster than your patience at a family reunion. She went down like a sack of flour and hollered, "This ain't over!" Ma'am, it's Pine Sol, not the Holy Grail. Hi. Alright, you ready for another story? Let me sit this here down. We had fish fry last weekend. Man, I love me a fish fry. And wouldn't you know it, Cousin Earl shows up with one of those giant coolers. We're thinking, oh yeah, he's finally pitching in, right? No. That fool was stuffing catfish fillets in his coolers to go. My Aunt Betty caught him red-handed and yelled, "Earl, you got enough fish in there to feed the Baptist choir." He tried to deny it, but his cooler started leaking grease like a car with a bad gasket. Earl's been banned from the family functions, but y'all know he's still sneaking in for the deviled eggs. Ozzy, stop looking. I found him right here. I got this. Yeah, okay. Here's another story for you. You ever had a possum get in your garage? Yeah, I did last month. And let me tell you, I don't know who screamed louder, me or the possum. I grabbed a broom and I tried to shoo it out, but that critter stood up on its back legs like it was paying rent. Man, I called my neighbor, who showed up in overalls and a pair of flip-flops, okay? Holding a net like he was on National Geographic. No. 30 minutes later, possum was gone, neighbor had a black eye, and I was on my porch with sweet tea rethinking every life decision that led me to this moment. Hey, you.
You better be careful. I think this is what, your second, third short video you've watched now? Are you stalking me? Alrighty. Here we go with take 555. I don't know why I have so many animals. I don't have a farm no more. I need a barn. This backyard ain't gonna hold it. These animals need to be outside. Speaking of outside, one summer we were having a big old tent revival in the middle of nowhere. You know, because apparently the Lord hears you better when you're sweating bullets. Yeah. Preacher was mid-sermon hollering about fire and brimstone when Sister Mabel stood up and let out a shriek that would raise the dead. Turns out a snake had slithered underneath her pew. Now, I've never seen a 73-year-old woman move so fast. Yeah, she leapt into Brother Earl's arms like he was Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing. Earl, bless his clumsy heart, tripped and took out 3 folding chairs and the collection plate and half the choir. Meanwhile, the snake, likely more scared than anyone else, decided to make a break for it right towards the preacher. Well, that man climbed the pulpit like it was Mount Sinai, yelling, "The devil has among us." Someone grabbed a garden hoe. Another hollered about calling animal control. And Sister Mabel was fanning herself with a hymnal, yelling, "Sweet Jesus, take me now." In the end, the snake was escorted out peacefully. But I swear, that revival had more excitement than a NASCAR race with a pileup in turn 3. Alright, y'all. Grandpa prided himself on his chili, okay? Swearing he had the best recipe, and it was passed down through generations. What he didn't mention
was that his secret ingredient was anything that was in the pantry. One winter, he made us all a big old pot, the whole family. Oh my gosh, it smelled so good in there. I mean, you just swore there were angels cooking that food. Well, we all sat down. We all took that first bite, pretty much the same time. And then we all looked at each other like we'd been tricked into chewing a handful of dynamite. My cousin started crying. Grandpa hollered, "What's wrong? Too spicy for you?" And then he just cackled like he won the lottery. It turns out the old man had dumped in half a bottle of ghost pepper sauce
because he wanted to add a little kick. A little kick.
My aunt was gulping down milk like it was going out of style, and my brother ran outside to stick his head in the snow. Grandpa sat there grinning while we all begged for mercy. To this day, if someone even mentions chili, my cousin breaks into a sweat and starts asking for antacids. Hey y'all, Memoirs of a Redneck Barbie here, aka Charlie. I just wanted to come and say, hey, thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please leave a comment, hit the like button, and don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me how silly I am. Got my dolly hat on and everything. Just for you. Y'all come on in. Alright, y'all. You know, growing up in a farm, we had a rooster. And I mean it. His name was Cluck Norris. Yes, Cluck Norris. Alright? Meaner than a junkyard dog and twice as sneaky.
Every morning, he'd chase us kids, flapping, squawking, like the world owed him something, alright? One day, Grandma, bless her patience, she had had enough. She walked out onto the porch with a broom in one hand and a mason jar of sweet tea in the other. Yeah. When Cluck Norris made his usual charge, though, Grandma took one sip, set down her tea, and swung that broom like Babe Ruth, aiming for the fences. Well, that rooster flipped midair and landed right in the pig pen, where old Wilbur the hog took one look and sat on him like he was claiming a throne. Now, Cluck Norris, he never chased anyone again after that. From then on, every time he sees Grandma, he'd quietly cluck and strut the other way. To this day, she says, sometimes all you need is a broom and a backbone. Bingo hall, y'all. Yeah, I love me a bingo hall. You'd think that a bingo hall would be a calm place where, seniors, not so seniors, quietly dab their cards and sip their coffee. Not in our town. Last Thursday night, Doris and Ethel, they got into it over a lucky seat. Ethel, being early as usual, had claimed her spot, but Doris, no, who believes she's the queen of bingo, just wasn't having it, alright? Yeah, she marched up and said, Ethel, you're in my seat. Ethel didn't even look up from her card and replied, first come, first serve, sweetheart. Oh, before you could say B12, Doris snatched Ethel's bingo marker and flung it across the room. Ethel stood up, grabbed Doris's crochet bag, and the next thing you know, they're tussling in front of the snack table. Chairs were flying, people were hollering, and poor Mr. Jenkins spilled his decaf. The hall had to call in security, aka Fred the janitor, to break it up. Now, there's a new rule.
Yeah, assigned seating. But every time Doris walks by Ethel, she whispers, "I'm watching you, girl." Okay, more family stuff. My Aunt Velma. Y'all, she is the queen of yard sales. But not in the way that you would think. She doesn't buy junk. Oh no, she sells it. And honey, she's got a talent for making trash sound like a treasure. Last spring, she hosted her annual spring clearance extravaganza where she sold an old coffee pot claiming it was an antique percolator. Some poor soul bought it for $20, only to find it still had a moldy filter in it. Ew. But her finest moment, she sold a busted up lawn chair, calling it a rustic outdoor lounger. She even convinced the buyer that the squeaky legs added charm. I stood there in awe as she pocketed $15 and threw in a broken garden gnome for free. Velma's motto is simple. One man's trash is another man's slightly overpriced treasure. Y'all got one of these? My cousin Billy.
He always swore he could fix anything. So when his riding lawnmower broke down,
He grabbed a wrench, duct tape, claiming he didn't need no fancy mechanic. 30 minutes later, we hear a loud boom from the backyard. We all ran out, find out Billy's sitting in a patch of singed grass, looking dazed, while the lawnmower's engine sat 10 feet away, still smoking. Turns out, he'd fixed the fuel line by tapping it directly to the exhaust. As we stood there in stunned silence, Billy dusted himself off and said, "Well, I reckon it'll run cooler now." To this day, anytime Billy offers to help, someone hands him lemonade and says, "Why don't you just sit this one out, champ?" Well, look at you. You're back. Hi. Alrighty, let's get into it. So, let me tell you about Betty Lou and the infamous church potluck of '98, okay? Now, Betty Lou was always been known for her world-famous potato salad. At least that's what she calls it. Truth is, it tastes a little like boiled regret with a side of rubbery eggs. Anyway, but bless her heart, no one dared say a word, okay? That's until Miss Velma, the new choir director, yet she waltzed in with a dish labeled Texas Tater Supreme. Honey, the nerve. Well, Betty Lou's nostrils flared so wide you could have parked a tractor in them. She strutted up to Velma and said, "Isn't that cute? You brought a side dish." The tension was thicker than Sunday gravy. Folks sat down to eat, and wouldn't you know it, Velma's tater dish disappeared faster than the preacher after a fire and brimstone sermon. Betty Lou's salad sat there untouched, looking sad and lonely like a Walmart greeter on Black Friday. To this day, Betty Lou claims Velma bribed people. But everyone knows, you mess with the Tater Supreme, you best bring your A game. Let's talk about some winter confusion here in Texas, because it's a yearly thing, right? Winter in Texas is like a weather app with commitment issues. Okay, morning says 40 degrees, so you bundle up. I mean, look at me. Yes, it's cold right now. By lunch,
It's 85 and you're sweating like a sinner at a revival. By dinner time, get back to layering blankets and praying the pipes hold out. Let me tell y'all about some Texas wildlife now. Texas raccoons are built different. Last night, I heard a crash outside, and I found one wearing my sunglasses and dragging my trash down the street. He looked me dead in the eye like, "You want this back? Come take it." Texas road signs. In Texas, a road sign isn't advice, it's a dare. Speed limit 75 means, can you hit 100 before the next Buc-ee's? And those deer crossing signs, that's code for good luck dodging Bambi at 2 a.m. I only got to go to the state fair last year. You know, got hungry. Just had to try one of their fried on a stick somethings. Ended up being fried butter. First bite, it was life-changing. Second bite, had me seeing visions of my cardiologist shaking his head and scheduling a follow-up. Dallas traffic. Y'all don't kill me over this, alright? Dallas traffic isn't just bad. It's biblical. Okay? You leave work on Friday and think you're headed home, but by the time you're halfway there, Moses is parting the HOV lane and handing out snacks. Only in Dallas can you spot someone wearing a 10-gallon hat, starched jeans, and boots that look like they belong in the Smithsonian. You think, wow, that must be a rancher. Nope, that's Carl from accounting, on his way to Whole Foods. Beer, barbecue, and two-step lesson? If aliens landed in New Jersey, they'd find traffic and toll booths. If they landed in Texas, we'd throw them a welcome party with beer, barbecue, and a two-step lesson. Thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please? Alright, y'all. This is the new series. Number 1, Redneck Pickup Lines. Did you fart? 'Cause you just blew me away. Redneck Pickup Line 2. Did you just grab my butt? No? Pity. Redneck Pickup Line 3. Oh, baby. You are cooler than a set of snow chains. Redneck Pickup Line number 4. Girl, I want you more than a new set of monster truck tires. Redneck Pickup Line number 5. Now, maybe you ain't the most beautiful girl around, but hey, true love's just a light switch away. Redneck Pickup Line number 6. Are you fertile? Redneck Pickup Line number 7. Girl, you are so beautiful. You would fit perfectly in my trailer. Redneck Pickup Line number 8. You know, it's a shame I got diabetes. You're so sweet, I'd eat you right away. Redneck Pickup Line number 10. Lady, you owe me a beer. I dropped mine over there when I saw you walk in. Redneck Pickup Line number 11. You look so familiar. Are we related? Redneck pickup line number 12. Hey, wow, are those real? Redneck pickup line number 9. Say, does this smell like chloroform to you? Redneck pickup line number 13. Would you like to increase my family gene pool? Redneck pickup line number 14. Between 1 to America, how free are you tonight? Redneck pickup line number 15. I'm no weatherman, but I think you'll totally get quite a few inches tonight. Redneck pickup line number 16. Can I show you my collection of monster truck wheels? Hey, thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please? All right, I got another series for you. This one is going to be Redneck Translations. You'll love it. Number 1. That dog don't hunt. Now, the translation. That idea is so useless. It's like trying to teach a hog to tap dance. It ain't gonna happen. It'll just frustrate you, and the hog will end up mad enough to eat your shoes. If you think that plan's gonna work, you might as well grab a lawn chair, sit down, and wait for the pigs to sprout wings. Redneck Translations, number 2. Well, butter my biscuit. Translation. I'm so stunned you could have knocked me over with a feather, but instead, I'd probably fall straight back into the cake table. It's like finding out your sweet old granny secretly races dirt bikes on weekends. I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or start writing this down for a Lifetime movie. Telling you, I'm going to write a book. Memoirs of a Redneck Barbie. Redneck Translations 3. He's got more nerve than a long-tailed cat and a room full of rocking chairs. Yeah. Translation. That boy's got so much gumption, he'd walk into a biker bar wearing a tutu and start a dance-off just because he could. He doesn't think twice before doing something dumb, and then it backfires. And he's just standing there grinning like he won a trophy for some bad decisions. Redneck Translations, number 4. She's pitching a hissy fit. Translation. She's throwing a tantrum so big, it's got its own weather pattern. She's hollering and stomping around like a bull in a china shop, knocking over everything but common sense. It's the kind of meltdown you'd sell tickets for if you had the time. Redneck translation number 5. I'm finer than a frog hair split 4 ways. Translation. I'm feeling so good, I could ride a unicorn into the sunset while waving a sparkler. Shoot, I'm so fine today that if confidence were currency, I'd own the whole dang Waffle House franchise by now. Number 6. He's as useless as a screen door on a submarine. Translation. That man couldn't pour water out of a boot if the instructions were written on the heel. He's so clueless, he once spent 45 minutes trying to figure out how to open a push door. And when he finally got in, he walked into a broom closet instead of the exit. Alright, y'all, here's number 7. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Translation. You can't dress it up, paint it, and call it fancy, but it's still gonna squeal like a pig in a mud puddle. It's like trying to turn a rusty old tractor into a sports car. You're just wasting good duct tape and your last nerve. Alright, y'all. Redneck translation number 8. She's prettier than a mess of fried catfish. Translation. That woman's so gorgeous she could stop traffic in a one-light town. If she walked into a room, every fella there would be stumbling over themselves like cows chasing a hay bale downhill. She's so pretty, even the mosquitoes are polite when they bite her. Alright, Redneck translations number 9. If that don't take the cake. Translation. Well, I'll be dipped in sweet tea and rolled in pecans. This situation's so ridiculous it ought to be framed and put in a museum. I mean, it's like watching 2 turkeys try to outsmart a fox. Entertaining as all get out, but you know it ain't gonna end well. Never does. Redneck translations number 10. Y'all ever had a persimmon? He's grinning like a possum eating persimmons. Translation. That fella's smiling so big you'd think he won the lottery, married the homecoming queen, and found an unlimited coupon for free barbecue, all in the same afternoon. He's so happy, he's practically glowing like fireflies in a July night. Redneck translations number 11. I know y'all have heard this one. Let me know in the comments. She's busier than a one-armed paper hanger. Translation. She's got so much going on, it's like watching a squirrel on espresso try to juggle pecans while doing the 2-step. She's running around like she's trying to cook Thanksgiving dinner, fix the Wi-Fi, and wrestle a gator. All at the same time, and somehow she's still smiling. Redneck Translations number 12. Getting close to the end. Are you up for it? I wouldn't trust him any further than I could throw him. Translation. That man's about as reliable as a chocolate teapot in Texas heat. You'd have better luck handing your wallet to a raccoon and expecting him to deposit it in the bank. If he says he'll take care of something, you better start writing your plan B right now. Redneck Translations number 13. I'm fixing to. I know y'all have heard that a dozen times from me at least. Translation. I'll get to it just as soon as I finish what I'm doing now, which might take a minute, or a month, or a miracle. First, I need a nap, and a little chat with my neighbor about her prize-winning tomatoes. Don't worry, it's on my list. Probably somewhere under that find a list. Redneck Translations number 14. One of my personal favorites. Maybe the personal favorite. Here we go. He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Translation. That boy's not just riding the struggle bus, he's also driving it. But somehow, he's taking the scenic route. Bless his heart, he's the kind of fellow who'd look at a jigsaw puzzle and wonder why the picture was all broken up. Translations number 15. She's snug as a bug in a rug. Translation. She's cozier than me wrapped up in my granny's quilt, sitting in my recliner with a plate of fried chicken that Granny made, gallon of sweet tea or Dr. Pepper, probably Dr. Pepper, and my dog sleeping at my feet while the game's on. If she were any more comfortable, she'd be in hibernation like a bear in the winter. Alright, y'all, I'm going to start a new little series, and it's called Redneck Q&A. First question. Why don't you find hubcaps on Redneck's pickup? Because his dogs are eating out of them. What do your dogs eat out of? Redneck Q&A number 2. What's the downside of being a redneck kid at Christmas? You just have one set of grandparents to get presents from. Redneck Q&A 3. How can you tell when you're at a redneck wedding? Nobody knows which side of the church to sit on. Redneck Q&A number 4. How can you tell that a redneck sent a fax? The stamp gives it away. Hey y'all, Redneck Q&A 5. How can you break a redneck's nose without getting into a fight? Put a $50 bill underneath the glass table. Alright, y'all. Q&A number 6. Why is it okay to post redneck jokes? Because they can't read it anyway. Alright. Redneck Q&A number 7. How do you keep a redneck entertained? Give him a piece of paper. Write on both sides of it. Please turn over. Thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please Redneck Q&A 8. Yes, I can count. So, why don't rednecks get a coffee break at work? Because the retraining when they come back would take way too long. Redneck Q&A number 9. Y'all, keep your head out the gutter, okay? What is long and hard for redneck? Go ahead, you know you want to. You're wrong. It's 4th grade. Redneck Q&A number 10. What is a redneck dressed really smart? You know, the smart looking clothes and everything. What would you call that? Come on, it's easy. Artificial intelligence. Alright, y'all. Redneck Q&A number 11. Why do redneck girls have a really, really big belly button? From meeting redneck guys. Redneck Q&A number 12. How did the redneck die from drinking milk? Give up? The cow lay down. Redneck Q&A number 13, baby. How many rednecks does it take to eat a possum? 2. Just 2. One can eat it while the other's watching for cars. Redneck Q&A number 14. What does a bottle of beer and a redneck have in common? There's nothing from the neck up. Big Texas weddings. You know you're at a Texas wedding when the bride throws her bouquet and half the bridesmaids have to put down their Whataburger taquitos to catch it. Cowboy boot logic. Only in Texas can you see a man in a suit and cowboy boots and think, yep, that's perfectly acceptable business attire. A road trip across Texas. Driving across Texas is like one of those Lord of the Rings movies. You set out on an epic journey. Lose hope about halfway through. And when you finally get there, you've got stories to tell your grandkids. Texas pride. I knew I was a true Texan when I got offended by someone calling queso nacho cheese. Excuse me, Karen, that's not cheese. That's a lifestyle. Look, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what this one's about right at the get-go. Okay? The exploding squirrel feeder. Hand to God. Hand to God. Okay? I thought I'd be fancy. Put out a squirrel feeder because I felt bad for the little guys. But instead of eating the peanuts, they started fighting over them. You ever seen a squirrel fight? Got ADHD and seen a squirrel fight? I was there for hours and hours. These squirrels, I swear to God, turned my backyard into WWE SmackDown. Dead ass. Okay, pardon my language, but seriously. Then one genius squirrel figured out how to chew through the feeder. Which I didn't realize, of course, until it exploded. It exploded. I mean, spraying peanuts everywhere. Everywhere. Peanuts going everywhere. You ever seen a shower of nuts? Yeah. Anyway. Next thing I know, the whole squirrel neighborhood is in my backyard. Oh my goodness. And one of them has the true audacity, okay, to climb on my window and stare me down like, where's the refill, Karen? Sorry, Mom. Yeah. Now, I just throw peanuts out the window and pray for peace. Alright, here's one for the holidays, y'all. It seems like every holiday. I am the designated tech support. Pardon me. This year, Aunt Linda, she handed me her phone and says, it won't ring anymore. Okay. I opened her settings, realized she had blocked her own number. Fixed. Then Uncle Joe says his computer is possessed because it keeps typing on its own. Turns out, not what you think. The cat walked across the keyboard and turned on the voice to text. Yeah. But the cherry on top, okay? Granny. She said her TV was broken because it only played black and white. Yeah. Y'all, she's been watching the old Western channel for about 3 months, okay? I fixed everything. But now, I charge a pie per problem. Cherry, apple, pumpkin, I don't care. Did any of these get you laughing? I could keep the ridiculous tales coming. Seriously. Yo, have you ever tried explaining Texas weather to someone who's not from here? It's like trying to explain algebra to a cow. It just does not make sense. Here's the deal. In most places, you've got 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Not in Texas. Oh no. We've got summer, still summer, fake fall, summer again, and that 2-day period in January where you actually need a jacket. Let me tell you about a day in Texas weather. You wake up, it's 45 degrees. So you grab your puffy jacket, maybe a scarf, and you're feeling all cozy, right? 10 a.m. The sun's out, and now it's about 75 degrees. You strip down to your t-shirt. Then by 3 p.m., it's a blistering 95 degrees with humidity that'll make you feel like you're marinating in your own sweat. And just when you think you've adjusted, a thunderstorm rolls in out of nowhere, and you're soaked. By bedtime, it's back to 40, and you're wondering how you caught a cold in one single day. And the weatherman, bless their hearts, Texas meteorologists are just out here guessing. You see, one on TV, and he's like, tomorrow, we might get a cold front, or it might be 102. Either way, there's a 50% chance of rain somewhere in the state. Good luck. I remember one year we had snow. Now, snow in Texas is like spotting Bigfoot, okay? People lose their ever-loving minds, okay? Kids were building snowmen out of what basically is crunchy ice and dirt. Meanwhile, every school and office shuts down for 2 days because nobody can drive in snow here. Nobody. And when I do say nobody, I mean nobody. I don't care if you're from the north. You can't do it here. Texans on icy roads are like deer on roller skates, okay? Confused, terrified, and heading straight for the ditch. But my favorite is tornado season. You're sitting at home, watching TV, and suddenly that emergency alert pops up. Tornado warning in your area. Seek shelter immediately. And what do Texans do? We run outside and look at the sky. Yep, that one's a swirling. See it? Right there, just swirling. Yeah. Yeah, let's watch and see if it comes down. Yeah, that's Texas weather for you. Unpredictable, unforgettable, and just a little bit ridiculous. Kind of like Texans. In the South, karma doesn't just come around. It parks itself on your front porch, y'all. Hey, thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please? Bessie Lou Carter had a reputation in Mossy Hollow. Her biscuits were legendary, the kind folks whispered about at church potlucks and famous reunions. They were perfectly golden, as fluffy as a cloud, and buttery enough to make a stick of margarine feel like an imposter. But Bessie wasn't just known for her biscuits. She was also known for her sass. When her nosy neighbor, Miss Crenshaw, once asked her for her secret recipe, Bessie quipped, "Sure, darling, but you need a lifetime of practice and just the right amount of stubbornness to make it work." One fateful Saturday morning, Bessie woke up early, as she always did, to whip up a batch of her famous biscuits for the church bake sale. She had her apron tied tight, the kitchen smelling like flour and butter, and her favorite blue mixing bowl ready for action. But disaster struck, of course. Midway through baking, Bessie's ancient oven gave out a loud pop, leaving her biscuits half-cooked and her kitchen full of smoke. She flung open the window and hollered, "Lord have mercy, somebody call the fire department, or at least bring me an oven that works." Her call for help didn't go unnoticed. First to arrive was Mr. Hawkins, a retired handyman who lived 2 doors down. He carried over his old cast-iron Dutch oven. "It ain't fancy," he said, plunking it on the counter, "but it'll get the job done." Ruby Jean, Bessie's best friend since 3rd grade, she showed up next. She had a wood stove on her back porch and insisted they bring the biscuit trays over to finish baking. "Bessie," she said, "we ain't letting a busted oven ruin your biscuit streak." By now, the commotion had got the entire attention of everyone in Magnolia. Old Mr. Earl, who hadn't stepped outside since the country fair 2 years ago, he even shuffled over with a bag of extra flour. The Jefferson twins, they brought butter, unsolicited and appreciated. Even Pastor Tillman left his sermon prep to offer the church kitchen if Bessie needed it. The scene was like a carnival. Neighbors were laughing, sharing stories, and sneaking bites of biscuit dough when they thought Bessie wasn't looking. And as the biscuits baked, something magical happened. Grudges that had simmered for years just disappeared. Mrs. Crenshaw and Ruby Jean, who hadn't spoken since the infamous pie contest of '98, were suddenly swapping tips on keeping pie crust flaky. By the time the biscuits were done, they weren't just a batch of baked goods. They were a town triumph. Bessie stood on her porch and with the basket of golden beauties and declared, "Y'all didn't just save my biscuits today, you saved my soul." That afternoon, the bake sale at the church was the busiest it had ever been. Folks couldn't get enough of Bessie's biscuits, but more than that, they couldn't stop talking about how the whole town had pitched in to make them happen. Bessie, of course, took it all in stride. "Well," she said, with a wink, "I always knew my biscuits were good enough to bring these folks together. I just didn't think it'd take a broken oven to prove it." From that day on, Bessie's kitchen became the unofficial gathering spot of Mossy Hollow. Whether it was a broken appliance or a broken heart, you could count on Bessie's Biscuits and the people of Magnolia Lane to fix it. Hey y'all, Memoirs of a Redneck Barbie here, aka Charlie. I just wanted to come and say, hey, thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, I love you to death. If you haven't subscribed, I love you anyway, but would you please leave a comment, hit the like button, and don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me how silly I am. Got my dolly hat on and everything. Just for you. Y'all come on in. Strap yourself in. Grab some sweet tea. Here we go. Back in 1986, when mullets were in their prime and MTV actually played music, I was just a wide-eyed Gen Xer looking for something to spice up my Saturday, you know? My cousin, Brian Lee, he had just scored a new neon green pair of moon boots from Yard Sale. Now, those of you that are too young to remember, moon boots were like strapping marshmallows to your feet and then expecting to be able to jump to the moon. Literally. Genius idea. Wish it were mine. Anyway, Brian Lee swore on Mama's mac and cheese, okay, that these boots could make you jump further than Evel Knievel himself. Y'all have to know who that is. Naturally, we had to test them out. I mean, everybody does, right? Scientific, yeah. By jumping off the top of the swing set. Sorry. Now, our swing set wasn't just a set, alright? It was a leaning tower of tetanus, held together by duct tape and good intentions. Now, Brian Lee, he climbed up first. Moon boots strapped on, hollering something about defying gravity. I say down with the Polaroid, ready to capture his glorious flight or inevitable crash. Yeah. So Brian Lee leapt, his arms out like a majestic bald eagle, yelling, "This is for science!" For one glorious second, just one, he soared. Then he immediately nosedived right in to Mama's prize hen house. By the time the dust and the feathers had settled, he was stuck face down, legs kicking, and looking like a cornfield scarecrow. Aunt Debbie, she comes out with her hands on her hips, hollering, "Brian Lee, if my hens don't kill you, I will." Now, we didn't just stop there. Oh, no. Mm-mm. After pulling him out of the chicken carnage, Brian Lee decided the boots just needed some more practice. Fast forward an hour, we'd rigged up a rope swing over the plastic pool that was there for the chickens, and, well, we just invited everybody to come watch. Brian Lee, ever the daredevil, decided to try a backflip. Spoiler alert, moon boots are not aerodynamic, okay? The swing snapped. He cannonballed right into the water and came up wearing what could only be described as an all-natural feather wig. Aunt Debbie hollered, "Look, the Loch Ness Brian's been found." To this day, anytime anyone says anything about those moon boots, Brian Lee gets a little twitch in his eye. And, Mama, she still blames them for that last year's bad egg crop. But hey, at least we proved that gravity always wins, even in the 80s. Did y'all like those payphone prank wars we used to have? Back in the day, if you were bored, you didn't scroll on your phone because the cell phones didn't exist, and the ones that did were way too expensive and way too big. Just too big. So we entertained ourselves by creating chaos. And nothing brought more joy to a redneck Gen Xer than a good old payphone prank. Our town had one payphone right outside the gas station. It was a clunky steel box of mischief just waiting to happen. My friend Tina and I, we made it our mission to prank call the whole town one summer. We'd pull our quarters together, grab some RC colas, and set up shop like we were running a Fortune 500 company right outside the gas station. Tina had a gift for voices too, let me tell you. One time, she called old Mr. Dobbins, who owned the hardware store, pretending to be a sheriff's deputy, okay? Mr. Dobbins, she said, in her best serious tone, this is Deputy Maynard. We got reports of you selling illegal moonshine equipment out of your store. What do you have to say for yourself? Now, Mr. Dobbins was half deaf and twice as paranoid. He starts stammering, I only sell copper pipes for plumbing, I swear. I had to shove my face in my shirt to keep from laughing. Tina doubled down, saying, we're sending a unit to search the premises. You better have your story straight. Next thing we knew, Dobbins locked up the store and drives off like the devil himself was chasing him. It turns out he was really selling moonshine stills to folks out in the holler. We didn't see him for 3 days. But karma's a funny thing, y'all. A week later, we decided to prank call my daddy. Tina put on her sweetest Southern Belle voice and said, hi there, Mr. Walker. This is Charlene from the sweepstakes office. You've won $1 million. Daddy wasn't dumb. He played along, asking all kinds of questions about where to pick up the money. Then he said, Charlene, you sound real familiar. Why don't you tell my daughter to come home for dinner before I ground her for life? Tina's face turned white as a sheet. He knows, she is, slamming the phone down. I went home that night and got an earful about wasting good quarters on nonsense. Daddy's parting words. Next time you want to prank someone, don't use the phone they can see from the living room window. Let's talk about some winter confusion here in Texas, because it's a yearly thing, right? Winter in Texas is like a weather app with commitment issues. Okay, morning says 40 degrees, so you bundle up. I mean, look at me. Yes, it's cold right now. By lunch, it's 85 and you're sweating like a sinner at a revival. By dinner time, get back to layering blankets and praying the pipes hold out. Let me tell y'all about some Texas wildlife now. Texas raccoons are built different. Last night, I heard a crash outside, and I found one wearing my sunglasses and dragging my trash down the street. He looked me dead in the eye like, you want this back? Come take it. Texas road signs. In Texas, a road sign isn't advice, it's a dare. Speed limit 75 means, can you hit 100 before the next Buc-ee's? And those deer crossing signs, that's code for good luck dodging Bambi at 2 a.m. Finally got to go to the state fair last year. You know, got hungry. Just had to try one of their fried on a stick somethings. Ended up being fried butter. First bite, it was life changing. Second bite, had me seeing visions of my cardiologist shaking his head and scheduling a follow-up. Dallas traffic. Y'all don't kill me over this, alright? Dallas traffic isn't just bad. It's biblical. Okay? You leave work on Friday and think you're headed home, but by the time you're halfway there, Moses is parting the HOV lane and handing out snacks. Only in Dallas can you spot someone wearing a 10-gallon hat, starched jeans, and boots that look like they belong in the Smithsonian. You think, wow, that must be a rancher. Nope, that's Carl from accounting, on his way to Whole Foods. Beer, barbecue, and two-step lesson? If aliens landed in New Jersey, they'd find traffic and toll booths. If they landed in Texas, we'd throw them a welcome party with beer, barbecue, and a two-step lesson. Alright, y'all. Let me tell y'all about the time I entered my first Texas barbecue championship. Okay? Now in Texas, barbecue, it isn't just food. It's a religion. And these pitmasters, they're like holy warriors, armed with secret spice rubs, and the kind of smoker setups that make Elon Musk blush, okay? I showed up with my little backyard grill and a bag of mesquite chips from Walmart feeling confident. You know, my Aunt Jolene, she once told me that my ribs were slap your mama good. No, I didn't slap her. I'm not suicidal. But I took it as a compliment. Now, the guy next to me, his name's Big Earl, okay? He had a smoker the size of a U-Haul trailer, okay? Complete with LED lights, sound system, a Bluetooth thermometer that sent updates to his phone. You know, this man had more technology in his barbecue setup than the Mars rover, okay? Sorry, Elon. Anyway, Earl looks at me and says, "What you cooking, little lady?" I gestured to my grill like it was the Taj Mahal, this beauty right here. And he just chuckled at me. "That's cute. What's your secret ingredient?" Oh, I froze. Nobody told me you needed a secret ingredient. Earl leaned in and whispers, "Mine's Dr. Pepper." Yeah, it would have been mine too. Then he popped open a can and poured it right over his brisket like he was baptizing it or something. Not to be outdone, I rummaged through my cooler, found a bottle of sweet tea. I mean, I figured if it works for Texans in the summer, it might be okay for ribs, right? I poured it over like I knew what I was doing. But let's be honest, I was winging it, harder than a squirrel on a trampoline. The judges came by, all serious with their clipboards and cowboy hats. They took a bite of Earl's brisket, and I'm serious, they practically cried over it. Then they got to mine. I was sweating some bullets. One judge said, "Interesting flavor profile." Now, if you've ever competed in Texas, you know that that's just a polite way of saying bless your heart. Spoiler alert, I did not win. Big girl got first place, of course. But I did get honorable mention for most creative use of sweet tea, and you know what? I'll take it. Because in Texas, it ain't about winning or losing. It's about showing up, having fun, and making sure you've got enough leftovers to last you a week. Yo, have you ever tried explaining Texas weather to someone who's not from here? It's like trying to explain algebra to a cow. It just does not make sense. Here's the deal. In most places, you've got 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Not in Texas. Oh no. We've got summer, still summer, fake fall, summer again, and that 2-day period in January where you actually need a jacket. Let me tell you about a day in Texas weather. You wake up, it's 45 degrees. So you grab your puffy jacket, maybe a scarf, and you're feeling all cozy, right? 10 a.m. The sun's out, and now it's about 75 degrees. You strip down to your t-shirt. Then by 3 p.m., it's a blistering 95 degrees with humidity that'll make you feel like you're marinating in your own sweat. And just when you think you've adjusted, a thunderstorm rolls in out of nowhere and you're soaked. By bedtime, it's back to 40 and you're wondering how you caught a cold in one single day. And the weatherman, bless their hearts, Texas meteorologists are just out here guessing. You see one on TV and he's like, tomorrow we might get a cold front, or it might be 102. Either way, there's a 50% chance of rain somewhere in the state. Good luck. I remember one year we had snow. Now, snow in Texas is like spotting Bigfoot, okay? People lose their ever-loving minds, okay? Kids were building snowmen out of what basically is crunchy ice and dirt. Meanwhile, every school and office shuts down for 2 days because nobody can drive in snow here. Nobody. And when I do say nobody, I mean nobody. I don't care if you're from the north. You can't do it here. Texas on icy roads are like deer on roller skates, okay? Confused, terrified, and heading straight for the ditch. But my favorite is tornado season. You're sitting at home, watching TV, and suddenly that emergency alert pops up. Tornado warning in your area. Seek shelter immediately. And what do Texans do? We run outside and look at the sky. Yep, that one's a swirling. See it? Right there, just swirling. Yeah. Yeah, let's watch and see if it comes down. Yeah, that's Texas weather for you. Unpredictable, unforgettable, and just a little bit ridiculous. Kind of like Texans. All right, y'all. Get on in here. What do you get when 32 rednecks enter the same room? A full set of teeth. All right, y'all. Q&A number 6. Why is it okay to post redneck jokes? Because they can't read it anyway.
Good morning. I have another shout out video. I didn't do it yesterday, but I did shout out in my post. I'm shouting out those people again today in the video because y'all are spectacular and I love you. There is, first off, we're going to go with, oh my gosh, I have my list here. Here we go. North Pole, Alaska. My dear, we need to get to that live because I've got to get over this nervousness. And I don't know, I feel like you and I could handle it. So, when you're not traveling, my traveling friend, if you have time, maybe we could get together, get that done. Maybe. I know after Christmas, obviously. Not trying to impede on festivities because I have my own, I guess, to deal with too. Mary, she is so great. Y'all, you gotta go listen to her, okay? Sister from another mister, I swear. She's awesome. If you're looking for somebody you need a common ground with because, they just get it, she's the one. Love you, girl. You're awesome. I'm serious. I've watched your videos, and sometimes I feel like you're talking as me. Seriously. Because, life sucks sometimes, and we just got to make the best of it. And it looks to me like you got it, girl.